This story time is going to be about bedtime, specifically pajamas, but you could really make it just all about the process of getting ready for bed. And this is a great story time to encourage the kids and the caregivers to actually wear their pajamas to the story time, and for the librarian to be wearing their pajamas as well, and to bring along any stuffed animals or blankets that the kids may enjoy using at bedtime, to bring them to the library and to make that a friendly space for them. So as a tradition, I would start my story time with a welcome song. So please see the links below for suggestions on hello songs that you can incorporate into your story time. And to get started with this story time, I would start with the book Llama Llama Red Pajama by Anna Dewdney. And Llama Llama Red Pajama is it's a pretty funny book about a llama who's just causing his mom a lot of grief because he refuses to go to bed nicely and keeps calling her and wanting her to come, and she's busy and can't see to his needs right away, and he causes a lot of llama drama. And the rhyming in this book is wonderful for preschoolers, kind of teaches them how to rhyme and words that rhyme together. And the pictures are great. They're nice and big and clear for the audience to see. I would start with this book because it's a little bit longer than some of the other books I've picked out, so it's great to use when the audience is still got a lot of their attention intact. And that is Llama Llama Red Pajama. Then I would go ahead and start with a song about putting on your pajamas. So you can have the kids stand up for this one, and I will go ahead and sing it for you and do some of the actions. This is how it goes. Let's put pajamas on, pajamas on, pajamas on. Let's put pajamas on, 1, 2, 3. Let's put pajamas on, pajamas on, pajamas on. Let's put pajamas on, 1, 2, 3. Pull on the left, pull on the right. Wiggle and jiggle and pull them up tight. Pull on the left, pull on the right. Button and button and button up tight. Let's put pajamas on, pajamas on, pajamas on. Let's put pajamas on, 1, 2, 3. Let's put pajamas on, pajamas on, pajamas on. Let's put pajamas on, 1, 2, 3. And that's how your pajama song goes. So you can start off the night by getting dressed into your pajamas, and then by moving on to your second story. And the second story is called Cornelius P. Mudd, Are You Ready for Bed? And I love this book because it's very funny, and it's this mom asking her little piglet if he's gotten ready for bed, and of course he's not doing anything he's supposed to be doing, even though he says yes. So you can use this one to interact with the kids by asking them what's wrong with the picture. Is he really getting ready for bed? What should he be doing instead of brushing his teeth with his comb, or putting his swimsuit on instead of his pajamas, and that kind of thing. So it's a great little book, and it ends with his mom gives him a hug, so that you could also encourage your parents to give their child a hug at the end of the book. It's really short, it's really sweet, and it's a great book to include in the middle of your story time. And then from there, you can go ahead and do a little action song about brushing your teeth, and kind of talk to the kids about things they do to get ready for bed. So it goes like this. It's to the tune of If You're Happy and You Know It. Before you go to bed, brush your teeth. Shh, shh. Before you go to bed, brush your teeth. Shh, shh. Before you go to bed and lay down your sleepy head. Oh, before you go to bed, brush your teeth. Shh, shh. You could add in, before you go to bed, comb your hair. You could add in, take a sip of water. Sip, sip. Lots of things. You can ask the kids what their bedtime routine is. Read a book, flip, flip, to help them recount some of those nighttime routines that they do every night. And then after that, I would go ahead and move on to another book. And this next book is called The Noisy Way to Bed. Where is it? Here it is. And The Noisy Way to Bed is a very beautiful written book. It's about these animals that start to join along when this little boy gets ready for bed. And you could do this one as a felt story because as the little boy's walking along, the different animals just come up, so you're kind of building a trail of animals. And it's also one to help the kids, or to have the kids help you tell, because the animals say their sounds that are associated with them when the little boy asks if they're ready for bed. So you could have the kids join in when the animals keep him up. And that is The Noisy Way to Bed by Ian Whitebrow. And then to get them up and active, there's a great little, it's really just a rhyme called 8 Fuzzy Slippers. And you can do this one a couple of ways. If you actually have 4 pairs of slippers, you can have them out and then actually have the kids come up and get the slippers, get a pair at a time, and use that as a more interactive way to do this rhyme. If not, you can just do it on your fingers, but it really shows them how to count by 2s. So this is how it goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 fuzzy slippers underneath the bed, waiting for a sleepy head. Susie came along and she put a pair on, and 2 fuzzy slippers were gone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 fuzzy slippers underneath the bed, waiting for a sleepy head. Bobby came along and he put a pair on, and 2 fuzzy slippers were gone. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 fuzzy slippers underneath the bed, waiting for a sleepy head. Janie came along and put a pair on, and 2 fuzzy slippers were gone. 1, 2. 2 fuzzy slippers underneath the bed, waiting for a sleepy head. Tommy came along and he put a pair on, and 2 fuzzy slippers were gone. Now all the fuzzy slippers are gone, and that's a really great way to teach the kids how to count backwards, or just to even just count by 2s. So you can do that either on your fingers or with actual slippers. And I just used made-up names, but if you know the names of the preschoolers, you can insert those names instead of just made-up names. Okay, after that, I would try and squeeze in one more book. This is a great book. It's a classic, Mortimer by Robert Munsch. And I love this book because Mortimer really tries to get everyone's attention, and it's got some really good repetition that the kids can even join in with. So when the dad or the mom comes up the stairs, it goes thump, 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 thump. You could have the kids make, or kind of pat their knees to make that sound. And Mortimer has his little song that he sings. Clang, clang, rattle, bing, bang, gonna make my noise all day. Clang, clang, rattle, bing, bang, gonna make my noise all day. And he sings that over and over and over again, so at the end, you should really have the kids joining in with you and singing that song. If you want to get really adventurous, you could even have pots and pans that you're letting them bang on while you sing this song. So it could be a really good time with this book, depending on how comfortable you are with the kids making actual noise. So that is Mortimer. And then to end story time, there's a little rhyme called 10 in bed, and you could do this again either on your fingers, or you could have 10 kids line up and have one of them sit down as you go from 10 down to 1. And so it just goes like this. There were 10 in bed, and the little one said, roll over, roll over. So they all rolled over and one fell out. Now there were 9 in the bed, and the little one said, roll over, roll over. So they all rolled over and one fell out. And you just keep going like that until you're down to 1, and then when there were none in the bed, the little one can say, good night. And that is 10 in the bed. So that's a great one. If you want to get the kids up and moving, you could have them actually be the 10 in bed. So that's my bedtime, pajama time, story time. Again, you would close with a a goodbye song and thank everyone for coming. A couple of other books to highlight. One is called Hushabye by John Birmingham, and it's just a beautifully written book. It's pretty much like poetry, so if you wanted something a little bit more quiet, I would recommend Hushabye. Another one is called Goodnight Little Monster by Helen Keatman, and it's one of those books that's great because it kind of shows that monsters, the little monster has to get ready for bed too. So it humanizes the monster, makes him a little bit less scary, and can perhaps help a kid deal with some anxiety they have about bedtime. And the same with this last book, which is called Go Away, Big Green Monster. So this book builds a monster and describes what the kid's scared of, and then once you have the full monster, you actually go ahead and he tells it to go away piece by piece until you get to the very end, and then the monster's gone and he's banished until the little kid says so. The little kid has control of their fear and teaches them how to make it go away. So this is another great book you could do during story time. So those are my suggestions for a bedtime story time. I hope you enjoyed.